And what I want to start out with is your shooting form, which is one of the most important things when shooting. So I know a lot of you sidearm, you underhand it, overhand it.
The
Rip dust mic.
Yeah.
Okay. Am I good now?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so I know a lot of you overhand it, underhand it, sidearm it. But mainly I overhand it, so that's what I'm going to help you guys with. If you want, then what I do overhand, you can try to like convert to like underhand or sidearm. You know? You kind of know what I mean? But, alright, so let's get started. So you can use your personal disc right now if you want to. And anyway, so I know you're all on different headsets, which have different tracking, you know? So we're gonna try this out. So how I want you guys to throw is, this is how I do it. So I do like a giant loop. So I throw it exactly like I would a softball, since I've played softball for 9 years. And so I would do a loop, and then right here I'd release it and like snap it down. After, if it helps you, like continue your throw down. Also, something that honestly really helped me when I started playing this game is I would point where I was gonna shoot and just stare at that area until I let go of the disc. You guys can turn around you too and shoot at that goal. You don't have to go for the full court mill slot. It might be a little bit hard at first, but once you get it down, it starts getting easier and easier.
Flash tracking sucks.
Yeah, it might. Rift dash tracking is not the best either, but you gotta get used to it. Alright. And something, hold on, give me a second actually. Okay, so something that comes along with this is the flick, of course, when you're throwing. And so, the flick depends on your headset, how much you can flick it. But I know with my headset, you can't flick it that much on Rift S. Because if I flick it too much, I just lose tracking like that. And the disc just gets stuck. So, yeah, watch him. There we go. Anyway, so to avoid, ooh, my screen just blacked out. To avoid that problem, what you want to do is just find like, for your headset or your throw speed, just like find what the max is, what the minimum is, and then get in between it. Again, it's different for everyone, but the more flick you have, and once you find the correct amount, the faster the disc is gonna go. That's really what helps with speed. But don't throw out your arm. That wouldn't be good. If you guys need any help too, you can just ask me right here. So I'll let you guys practice that for just a little bit. You want to get like more accurate shots with me, momentum really helps when I'm shooting. So like keep going forward while you're shooting. You get more speed on the disc. Okay, you guys will have time at the end to practice more shooting, but we're gonna move on to something else. You guys right now, this actually will help you practice your shot. Nice job, I'm guessing you made it. Alright, so this is very important, and it's when to shoot and not to shoot, because let's say you're right here at goal, or not at goal, right here in tube, and you see an open goal, and you're like, oh, I can make this shot, but someone's right at bow tie, you know? You don't want to make that shot, because that person's going to be able to get the disc. Things like that. By the way, let me know when I get a robotic mic, so I can say whatever I said again. So let's say, basically, whenever someone's mid right here, you never want to take a shot on goal, because they're going to be able to stop it. Unless you're like right next to them, so like the defender's right here and you're right here, of course you can make that shot, you know? Because they're not gonna be able to get back in time. And of course, if there's a goalie anywhere at shield right here, do not go for the shot. at least go for the 2-pointer, because no 3 is gonna make it through that, unless it's a really good pocket shot. I mean, if you can make it, go for it. Something else. Usually goalies will be hiding a lot of the time. So they'll be in like the tubes. They'll be hiding like right here or like right here. So just be careful about that when shooting. And I'm guessing, are all you guys strikers? No? You guys can talk a little if you want to. You don't have to
No.
be quiet. So are you
I'm
guys strikers?
flexible.
Midfield gang.
Mainly goalie though.
Mm-hmm.
Very aggressive.
Yeah, it's good to know how to shoot also as a goalie. Because if you get out a goal and you can make that shot, you're gonna be a deadly goalie. Holy. But let's see. Yeah, just really be careful about where the goalie is, and before you're shooting, always look for the goalie there. If you see him anywhere close to the goal, or when you also gotta think a lot about it. Like, you'd be like, okay, if I shoot it from here, the goalie's right there, will he be able to get back in time? You know?
Robot
Things
Mike.
like that.
Robotic
Oh.
Mike.
Okay, is it good?
Yeah.
Alright, we're good. So, anyway, if you throw it, and you're like, oh, I can make the shot from right here, you know? But you see the goalie, you also have to think about if he's going to be able to get back in time for that shot. So, it's not just throwing the disc, which I know, I wish it was just that. That'd be awesome. But, let's see, what else can I teach you guys? Okay, so I think someone asked a question before I started this, and it was why underhand is like very different compared to overhand. Underhand can basically work the same. Underhand can basically work the same. It's just a way different movement. For me, overhand is way more accurate because just a snap. It's way harder to snap like that underhand, you know? And there's a way higher chance of the dish just going straight up. And you don't really want that, you know? Also, if you can tell, it's probably way slower than you would throw overhand. If you get enough speed into it, yeah. It could be good for like short passes, like let's say Mr. Naples right here and I just want to pass it like that. It could be good for like that. But like another good way is to go like that. Or even just like that. You don't always want to chuck it at people, which I do a lot. Alright, so yeah, just, you can go underhand if you really want to. Just don't do it too much or get into a bad habit of throwing underhand, because you can get into bad habits while throwing. Like let's say you go like that, or if you stop right here, then you, I don't know, go like that. Which I know that could be someone's throw. I'm not pointing you out, I promise. But let's see. Okay, so also, something that could be very important is you have the disc, and let's say you're right here. You're at a really hard shot at the goal. Like if you guys come over here to where I am, you can tell you can barely make it from right here. Like it is almost impossible. You would think so, right? So, yeah, you could try shooting it from here, but most of the time you won't be able to make it. Another time, or what you could do is you could bounce it off backboard into goal. It would actually go in though. That could be an option. Or you could juke around like that and then like come over here and you could see I have a way more open shot at goal. And it's gonna be a 3-pointer from right here. So yeah, never try to take hard angles unless you have a lot of practice in them and you know you're gonna make them. You know what I mean? Alright. So same thing applies for up here. There's hard angles like that. You always can do like a hook shot or like that. But I mean, if there's a goalie there, they're probably gonna get that. Alright, does anyone else have any questions that they want to ask? Because I can help you here.
Would you recommend anchor shots?
Anchor shots? Yes, I would recommend those. I am personally not the best at them, but my friend Game, he's trying to help me with them. Anyway, they're very important. Like, let's say there's a goalie at goal, and you see, so like they're right here, and you see the open pocket up here, because you know, if you throw it right there, they can't reach that. There's no way. And I don't know, you're just right here at shield. Anchor shots are really good because they can be really quick, and not the most accurate, but if you get them quick enough, accuracy really does not matter with those. And if you can like get it from like right here and like backboard it in, there's almost no chance a goalie's gonna be able to stop that. Again, overarm works for it, but of course there's like different methods to like get threes when you're right here and all that. So if you want, you guys can try some shots real quick, anchor or not, the hard angle ones. You can try all that. And if you have any questions while throwing, just ask me, and I'll be here to help. While you guys are shooting too, something that made me a way better shooter was actually playing a bunch of pubs, because what I would do in those pubs, I would just practice the same shot over and over again, like my half courts. All I would do is after the QB gave it to me, I would see the open goal and just take the shot. And that's why now, on the right side, that's why I always go right. I'm just really used to throwing it from right there into the goal. So it's also a lot about knowing your position on the field of where you are and getting used to that spot when shooting, if you know what I mean. So just try out like everywhere on the field when shooting. So then when it comes to game time, and you do gotta shoot from that spot, you're ready to go. And you know how to shoot it from there, you know? And what bounces to take. So yeah, just try out everything right now, really. And then, yeah, any questions, I'm here. By the way, let me help you on anchor shots real quick. So if you want to do like a good anchor shot, I suggest, so let's say you're coming up on shield, right? Get ready to throw before you actually like hit here. So you're ready to go right away. So you would get the disc like that. So if you saw, I was already ready to go before I got there. Oh, right. And if some of you guys are ready, I can help you with bank shots too. Honestly, those are probably my favorite shots. They're so much fun. So basically on bank shots, I know probably most of you probably already know this. So whenever so this pillar right here basically determines what side of the backboard you're gonna use. So let's say I'm on the side closest to the shield. So in this case, it'd be right here, all the way over to right here. You're gonna aim for that, like, not the indented triangle. But if you were at the side of the pillar closest to the wall, right here, or in this case, right over here, you're gonna aim for the indented triangle, which I don't know if I can make it slow, but there we go. So when you're right here, right, you wanna aim for this part of the triangle, from whatever side you're on, because that just helps it go in more. I mean, of course, you can make shots like that, but as you can see, they just go like straight up. So they're not really the most, I don't know, that's not really the best bounce. And with up here angles, basically, it's kind of hard to determine, but I would say every time you see where these blocks are, every time you're past them, aim for the indented part. Both high and low. So yeah, that was a lot of information. You guys can go and practice that for a little. And yeah, I'm here to help if you guys got anything to ask. Also, if you guys want to get half courts down, which I know some of you probably want to, in my opinion, they're the best and most fun to make. I suggest a good like drill. If you want to do them, you just go into like a private match by yourself, you know, no one else there but you, and just shoot it with your personal disc back there, back and forth. So you just keep going to each goal and shooting it, because that gives you practice on both left side and right side when shooting the disc. And once you get like the straight shot down, I suggest doing like the boop shot, you know, all those cool shots down. Same with the mail slot, you do that too. And that really helps you get the shot down. And use the blocks too, like guide yourself. So like bounce off it. Gives you 1 more speed, and 2, it can direct you more in the direction you want to shoot.
When you throw, do you focus more on getting like all that arm speed or wrist movement with your throwing form?
So basically, when I throw, I mostly focus on my arm speed because I go really quick, and then I kind of stop, and then I go fast again. And the arm speed can also really affect the time it takes for the disc to get out of your hand. But also, wrist is also pretty important, but mostly I would focus on your arm speed right now. And then once you get that down, focus on your wrist speed. Because right here, I flick it like that, and then it goes right through it. So if it helps you too, you don't have to do this giant wind-up thing I do like that. You can just throw it, you can just go straight to that, and then throw it like that. That's also pretty accurate. But personally, I'm just used to like the wind-up like this. So. Something very important too as a striker is never to like stick with one shot. Like, of course, you want to use your most accurate shot for like half courts, but when you're in the bubble and you're like passing around your teammates, you want to like not like chuck 18s at them, you know? If they're like right there at shield and I'm right here, like they're not gonna catch that. So you just want to do like a soft pass like this, you know, and then they can make the shot like that. And also, if you do have a longer windup when in tunnels, which I do, and I tend to make this mistake a lot, if I'm right here and I'm about to shoot a goal, don't do a long windup just to get an 18. Like, the goalie will just come at you and take the disc before you even have a time to shoot it. Like, shoot it real quick before the goalie can come out and get you, you know?
When you're aiming for a pocket, like when you're going in for the 2, do you usually like go for the pocket with your arm or your wrist?
I usually go for the pocket with my arm. So what I do is basically I change where my release point is when I throw. Whoops. So if I'm going for bottom pocket and I am right in the middle, so like right here, instead of releasing it right here, I'm gonna release it like right here. So the disc goes lower. I would actually make it, I just can't throw slow. So it looks something like this probably. And yeah, my arm glitches out when I throw a lot because of the wrist. Alright, also something that could help you guys out that helps me is so when I'm throwing a game, I throw the disc way too hard, like my arm, it starts to hurt really bad. So like in lobbies, just focus like on your wrist snap like this, because it's probably the most important part when throwing. Your wind up, of course, it will help you, but knowing where to like snap the disc, that's really the most important thing, because this is mostly your motion when throwing, right here. And your follow through, that could help, because yeah, it's just like default. And something to add on too is so when most people throw, of course, they're perfectly straight when they throw, like this. But sometimes you can't get the right angles when you're like that. So what I do, none of you have to do this. Honestly, it's pretty weird I do this. When I throw, I full on tilt my body like that. If you can see where I am, well, you really can't because it's in real life. I'm just like completely tilted. I don't know why. It just gets me better accuracy, but whatever works for you guys. You can stand completely straight up and shoot. There's no problem with that. Me? I'm not really warmed up right now. I can try. Let me see.
Half-court male slot.
Male slot. Let me see if I can just make a normal one first.
Best goalie, headbutt, NA.
Nope. See. Hold on.
Headbutt, save it, Nate.
And also, if your arm is starting to hurt from throwing, then I suggest don't throwing the disc that hard. Like, don't throw the disc as hard as you are, because you could probably like pull a muscle if your arm isn't strong enough, or like, I don't know, ready for you to throw like that. Because you're basically just throwing air if you think about it, and it's kind of weird for your arm. So like for me, right here on my shoulder, which again you can't see, it starts to hurt really bad after like 3 or 4 games. Just take a break for like 10 minutes and your arm will be fine after. But don't throw too much if your arm is hurting. Like, seriously, don't. You'll pull something or do something to your shoulder that you don't want. Yeah, hurt shoulders are not fun. Especially on your dominant like arm.
Ever go to physical therapy?
My mom actually is like she works for a physical therapy like online place, so she kind of knows how to help with my shoulder and stuff. I do ice it a lot though. 'Cause softball and this is a lot of throwing for me. Alright, if you guys got any more questions, just ask me now, and then I say in the next 5 minutes, you guys will be ready to go and do whatever.
Do you ever throw with your non-dominant hand? And if so,
Uh,
why?
I really don't do that. I don't suggest doing it unless it's like in your hand and you gotta get rid of it quickly, you know? Like you catch it with your left hand, and let's say you're on the other team, you're right there, it's in my left hand.
Have robot
Like I'm just
mic.
gonna. Okay, can you hear me? Alright,
Yep.
so let's say you're the opposite team, I'm on whatever team, and I had the disc in my left hand, and you're right there, like ready to punch me. You would just like slap it with your left hand real quick. You're not gonna go like that and throw it. You don't have that much time, you know?
Yeah.
Bye stream, thank you for watching, and yeah, I'm Saloona22 Striker. If you ever need help, just contact me on Discord. This is my username, or add me on Oculus and message me on Oculus. I'll be happy to help you out. Bye guys!
Lost in the desert, but we'll stay together. Wander forever, we'll stay